How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? My name is George Arliss, and I thought I might take a chance by introducing my second volume of memoirs. My publishers decided to call it My 10 Years in the Studios, which in fact is just what it is. I don't want to appear to be apologizing for having stepped into print. I am not. I am merely trying to be honest with you. I have written these lines as a sort of preface, so that you may not be misled as to the kind of book this is. I might have got someone else to write a preface. Some writer of distinction. Mr. Bernard Shaw, for instance. I don't think he would have done it, but I could have asked him. I once asked him to write a play for me about Voltaire, and he replied by asking me how old I thought he was. He looked fresh and vigorous, but glancing at his beard and not knowing whether I ought to bet on the high or low field, I hedged with, "What difference does that make?" He implied that he had enough work in hand to last him comfortably to the end of his life. I said I thought it a pity that there should be no play written about Voltaire, one of the greatest figures in history. I told him that he was the one man in the world to do it. What an opportunity, I said. He replied that he was not looking for opportunities. This was just a rebuke for my unguarded remark, and I lost confidence. Finally, he said, "Besides, I am quite the wrong man to write a play about Voltaire." I asked him why, and Mr. Shaw, with his customary modesty, said, "I'm too much like him." In case you should think I am modest, I am probably lacking in what my Uncle Charlie always regarded as God's exclusive gift to him and his immediate family, a sense of humor. I feel bound to arrive at this conclusion, for although I have met many directors, executives, and men who have made millions out of pictures, but they have seldom said anything that has made me laugh up my sleeve. I can laugh with the rest at the misfortunes of other people, but I do not count it as a misfortune that the picture magnate has not had the higher education. At any rate, it doesn't amuse me. I cannot read with patience the stories of the colossal ignorance of the Hollywood producers. At any rate, it doesn't amuse me. His mispronunciation of a word, or his lack of knowledge of historical figures, does not make him, to me, a figure of fun. I do not expect any man to be blessed with millions, together with a university education, unless he has been able to pick both off the family tree. When I wanted to do Voltaire, and had to sell the idea to my managers, I didn't think it so frightfully funny when one of them said, "It ought to be good." He stated, "I've read the book." I believe that he had read a good life of the man, and Voltaire remained in his mind as the central figure of a novel or a story. After all, why should he know anything about Voltaire? I cannot read with patience the stories of the colossal ignorance of the Hollywood producers. They are men drawn from diverse countries, and therefore many of them speak broken English. But I can hardly believe that an inability to speak perfect English is an infallible sign of imbecility. I should like to make it clear, however, to those readers who, like my Uncle Charlie, have a sense of humor, that I have no objection to their laughing at a man's broken English. But I am impatient when they conclude that because he speaks like that, he cannot produce a good motion picture.